thank you to everyone who is joining us here today. My name's Alexandra Wenman, and I'm absolutely delighted to be here with Spirit and Destiny magazine to offer this free Facebook Live about manifesting with Mother Nature. I love doing these. It's so exciting to join you all here. Just to let you know that the latest copy of Spirit and Destiny is out now, the November issue. It's amazing. There's loads of amazing great articles in here. There's astrology, crystals. We're talking about, there's lots of expert opinions, how to be happy. There's even competitions like how to win a spa break for two. How cool. I think we all need that right now. Loads of tips, techniques, affirmations, angels. I love it. And even like cool shopping goodies in here. So fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today. You can grab this edition out now. And I believe at the moment with Spirit and Destiny, we're doing a 31 days of mindfulness challenge. So we're going to be sharing some mindfulness tips and techniques as part of our workshop today. I just wanted to let you know as well that on the topic of nature, I have a beautiful book out at the moment with Krisha Newman and Teresa Chung called 21 Rituals to Connect with Nature. Through Watkins Books, and this has loads of rituals you can do indoors and outdoors. So even though we're going into winter and we've had all kinds of weird lockdown stuff going on, there's plenty of rituals in here that you can do from the comfort of your own home. Today, on our little wheel of the life cycle of the tree. So for those of you who've joined me before, don't worry if you haven't joined us for the previous sessions. You can still sit in today. We'll be covering everything. We've basically been manifesting through the patterns of nature, and we've been looking at the cycles that are prevalent in nature, especially on the wheel of rejuvenation and regeneration. So we started with the seeding our intentions, and then we moved into the sprout and working with our emotions to imagine and feel what it would feel like to have our desires come into fruition. We worked with the tree energy, coming into our courage, our centeredness, our clarity, our inner strength, calling on our willpower. And today we're here with the blossom, with the flower, and this is probably my favorite bit in the manifesting process, which is the working with the energy of creation and beauty, and how we can bring more of our own inner beauty, our own inner soul essence, and anchoring it into our daily waking lives. Hi guys. So hi Jan, hi Christy. There's an Aussie in the house. Hey Christy. Hi Kirsty, hi Lucy, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. Very excited to be sharing this with you. I also I want to liken, so we talk about the life cycle of the tree and how it goes from that seeding to growth to blossom to fruition, and then to the decay and dropping away, and then it starts again. And similarly, and this is a great one for today because we're talking all about beauty and creativity and everything. So I also want to talk about a little bit about this life cycle of the butterfly, and how we're now coming into the beauty, the absolute beauty of that butterfly, and bringing all our beauty out into the world, bringing a real celebration of ourselves out into the world, so that we can let go of any fears around being seen, being heard, sharing our inner treasure, and the things that make us really unique. Because what makes you unique and special will be different to everybody else, because we're all like fingerprints and snowflakes. So no two of us are the same. So I've got as always, I have a little poem that I would like to read you to begin. And for those of you who aren't familiar, hi Vicky, thanks for joining us. For those of you who aren't familiar with my poetry, I share all my poetry freely on my Instagram account. It's at Alexandra C. Wenman. I put it all up there for free as it comes through. They're all channeled. They're a bit like prayers. I've noticed that some of them have become a little bit prophetic. So they're sort of like things that I've sort of spoken about or written about have come through. I sort of hear them. They come through me rather than from me. But I have put them together in a couple of collections. This is my second collection of poetry. It's called The Poetry of Light, and it is available via my website, alexandrawenman.com. If you wish to buy the collection, you don't have to. You can always just follow me on Instagram and you'll get free poetry, because it is about healing and sharing. So I wrote this poem when I was in Bali at the beginning of last year, and gosh, feels like an age ago. And it's called "Are You Listening?" And it really is about how we are part of Mother Earth, we're part of nature, and we need to honor her. And in honoring her, we're also honoring ourselves, and vice versa. And the invitation, as I read, is just to close your eyes and just go within. And here's our first, I guess, experience of touching on a bit of mindfulness. If you just go within, close your eyes, come into your heart, and just tune into your emotions. And the poems, as I read them, become a little bit like a prayer to the soul. So I want you to just feel the feelings that this evokes in you, and any visions or images that come to mind. Really let yourself just allow the words to really anchor you into the present moment. Bring yourself into the here and now, and just acknowledge what sort of imagery, sights, sounds, smells, feelings this might bring up for you. Are you listening? A mountain erupts on an island. Tears trickle forth like rain. The thunder claps out its chorus, and lightning crackles its chain. I came to the island for respite, but it turns out she needed me too. Deep in our soul's ancient twilight, a memory was just creeping through. In the jungle's embrace I reopened. Her tendrils enclosed me with care. For now the Earth Mother had spoken. I wept as she whispered, "Take care." I felt in my own heart her heartbeat. I heard her soft voice through the trees. As I spoke my words, she repeated. She was there in the flowers and bees. Entering the womb of the mother, I glimpsed her crystalline core. Suddenly she let out a shudder. In the darkness I heard her deep roar. How I love this beautiful garden. She still is a glittering jewel, but we should be asking her pardon, for we have become the great fool. Oh, come to the heart of the mountain. Remember, you children of earth. Her memories break ground like a fountain. She is readying now for your birth. For you are a gift to this earth, and it's time to remember your worth. And that is really, it was inspired because I was staying in the heart of the Balinese jungle, and I'd had a major past life memory surface of when I'd been there in another lifetime. And I had been an indigenous woman there, and I'd had to leave the island. And it was as the plane was coming into land on my first visit ever to Bali, all these tears started just coming. And I had this amazing vision, this amazing remembrance that I'd had to escape the island to get away from invaders, and I'd never been back. So it was really sad, but it was really beautiful because it really felt like the jungle was speaking to me, and I felt like nature was talking to me about this time that we're in now. It was like nature needed a reset. Finally, she's actually getting a bit of respite, a bit of that reset. And I then went to India, and I went into the jungle, and I went on a tiger safari, and I actually had telepathic communication with this amazing tiger who also was saying, this is we don't want to encroach on humanity, but we've got nowhere to roam. And he didn't want to procreate anymore. And he was with a mate. There was a female there. Apparently, you very rarely see the male and the female tigers together in the wild unless it's mating season. And he'd said to me, we're refusing to mate. We don't want to mate because we don't want to procreate because there's nowhere for our offspring to go. And so I shared the message that the Bali jungle had given me, which was the jungles of the planet are about to regenerate. And I didn't know what she meant. Then we had all the fires and everything going on. And obviously COVID came, and the jungles were given a chance to regenerate. And so I told this to the tiger. And then as we went to leave, he and his mate mated right in front of us. So it was almost like he was saying, okay, I feel better about it now. It was like a bit of evidence, quite incredible. So nature is powerful, and we are part of nature, and we can tune in to the power and the essence of nature and get messages from it if we can but learn how to listen. And we can use the energy of nature and the power of nature to tap into our creativity. I want to apologize because my neighbors seem to have decided to start drilling at this moment while I'm doing this, so I hope you guys can't hear that and that it's not too loud. It's not ideal. And I unfortunately don't have any headphones here, so if anyone finds that really distracting, please just let me know, and I'll try and work it into the meditation journey. But we can use it as part of our mindfulness practice to really bring us into the now moment and be aware of, right, we're here, we're on Earth, and stuff happens. So today, creativity, I want to talk about. I'm going to do a little card reading. I've pulled 3 cards for us here today. And the card deck that I've chosen is the Fairy Godmother Oracle deck by a lovely lady by the name of Flavia Kate Peters. She's a wonderful woman. I've known her for many years. She's beautiful. She's a fairy shaman. And these fairy godmother cards are so stunning. And the 3 that jumped out are so relevant for what we're looking at today. The first one that I've picked is Truthfulness. Truthfulness. And this is really, to me, this really speaks to the soul. It's what is your truth and how to come into connection with your truth, no matter what anyone else's opinion or agenda is. And of course, at the moment, with the whole coronavirus thing, we have a lot of different opinions, agendas, what's right, what's wrong, what's the best thing to do, do you wear a mask, do you not wear a mask? And there's all this divide going on within humanity. And I think what we need to come back to is honoring each other, honoring each other's opinions, understanding that we can have a differing perspective and still love and understand each other and accept each other, not try and force each other into a specific agenda or politics or whatever, like that we should be able to follow our own hearts so long as we're not bringing harm to anybody. And this is where truthfulness comes into the creative process. What is your truth? And how, if you could bring the truth of your soul essence and bring your true inner beauty and the absolute gift that is you into daily waking life, how could you express that? So for me, for example, it's poetry. And for others, it might be painting, it might be singing, it might be dancing. Any way that you can connect to your creative energy and express yourself in your most unique way without the need to copy another, without the need to try to emulate what somebody else is doing or compare yourself to somebody else, without the need to compete. And if you're going to compete with anyone, just compete with the self that you were yesterday. And it's 1313 while I say that, so that's real alignment. You know, how can you, if you're going to compete with anyone, then just what am I, where am I today in relation to where I was yesterday, and then bring yourself into the you that you are now and really celebrate that. A great exercise to do actually is just to do some wild writing, and just to do wild writing. I am unique because I am special, because my gifts are needed in this world, because one of my most beautiful gifts that I love is this. And just write. Let's see what your psyche brings to light. There might be things that you used to love to do as a child that you maybe forgot or you don't do anymore. For me, it's singing, and as an adult, I'm in my 40s now, and I've just taken up learning classical singing training and learning how to sing opera arias, and it's blowing my mind, the things that my voice can do that I never thought possible. But I'm just doing it for me, and it's making me feel so proud that I have this ability, and I might actually put it out into the world a little bit more. Sometimes our creativity and being who we are and speaking our truth takes courage. It takes bravery, especially if you're someone who has a unique message, and especially, as we all are here, if you're spiritual and you're coming out of the spiritual closet and you're venturing outside of the safety of a spiritual circle or group and putting yourself out there publicly. I used to be a journalist. Now I work as an alchemist and a healer and an author. And my first deck of oracle cards, which is called the Archangel Fire Oracle, I'll show you a picture of the cover. These are going to press as we speak. So I'm literally putting myself out into the world. And I have to say, as a channel and somebody who does work that is quite unique, it can take a lot of courage. Interestingly, the angel on the cover is Ariel, who's the angel of courage. So she's a great one to call on. And she's also the angel of nature. The second card that I've pulled for you today is Divine Love. And this really is about really turning your love inwards towards yourself. As empaths, we often have plenty of love to share with everybody else, but we're often very hard on ourselves. This is about giving yourself the love that you deserve. And I love people are saying that. So Lucy, I love music. Christy, I love photography. Yes, beautiful. And you know what? Anything that brings you into a focused state of attention, that really brings you within and draws on that creativity, is a mindfulness practice, because it does bring you into alignment with the now moment. You're really present, you're really focused. Anything that puts you into that state of, I'm just here focusing on this. I have a friend, my beautiful friend Lorraine, who she creates and draws these incredibly intricate, beautiful mandalas. And it was nature that awakened that in her. She did an ayahuasca ceremony, and this ability just opened up in her. And she's now got hundreds of these stunning, really intricate mandalas. A mandala is a meditative artwork that's done in a circle shape. And it is like she saw nature and the nature of the world as spinning molecules of energy. And that's what she's trying to draw and recreate. And it is love. It's divine love. So divine love is actually the pattern of nature. I did talk on the first day about, let me get my little picture, about sacred geometry and it being prevalent in the patterns in nature. And the mathematics of this is the golden mean, or divine proportion, which is the mathematical equation of unconditional love. So even the shape that the images are in on this card are similar to the Vesica Pisces shape that is that mathematical equation. So that everything links up in nature. It's wonderful. Everything is in alignment. Everything is perfect. And if you think of yourself as part of nature, you can't go wrong, because you are divine, you are human, and the cycles of your own life. I always believe that nature is divinely compensating, and nature always rights itself. You know, if it goes off track, it will always bring itself back into alignment. And if you stay in trust, then you can't go wrong. Then you will know that what's for you will never pass you by. You can never miss an opportunity. If a door closes, it wasn't your door. If a door opens, it's absolutely meant for you. But the key in manifesting and in alchemy is to always know what you want and have an idea in your mind. And like we said in week 2, that can just be about knowing how you want to feel and choosing how you want to feel. I want to feel successful. I want to feel fulfilled. I want to feel proud of myself. I want to feel encouraged and loved and supported. And then once you know how you want to feel, and you might know what it is you want, it might be something like me, like a publishing deal or an opportunity to bring your divine expression out into the world, a way to be supported in that and celebrated in that. If you know what that is, that's great. Hold that intention and then hand it over to the divine. Know that in the power of surrender and trust, you can align to the divine cycles of nature and the cosmos and everything that is divinely compensating and divinely perfecting in every moment. And then that which needs to drop away to make your desire come to fruition, you can very lovingly and gently let go of. Sometimes the dropping away can be painful. Sometimes we have to let go of people, experiences, jobs, in order to get onto the higher path that will align us to our soul's true purpose and our soul's true desires. And as humans, we need to acknowledge those emotions. Sometimes that can be really painful. In order to birth what we need to birth, sometimes we need to have a death, or we need to have a release or a letting go. And we're having that really on a global scale at the moment. But I find if you try and honor the emotions, but also sit back in trust, sit back in neutrality, become a bit of an impartial observer, and just really hold the intention that I trust that what's for the highest and best is going to play out here. And you can help the world by focusing your vision on the most beautiful, peaceful world that you want to see as well. And then it will allow that vision, if it be for your highest good, to come to fruition. And then the third card that I've pulled is venture. venture. So you open the door to the new opportunities to come to you, to allow them to come into your life. And look at this pumpkin carriage. Isn't that just amazing? The pumpkin carriage being what the fairy godmother created for Cinderella for her to go to the ball. And she created it from her imagination. Imagination is the way that we can manifest, because it's literally I magic nation, what I believe I create. So we're going to do a little visualization process in our, and I've been talking for a long time. Normally my meditations are a lot longer than this. So if we go over a little bit, I'm really sorry. Kirsty, I hope that's okay. We'll see how we go for time. Because I do want to get you guys into a creative sort of space. And we're going to work with calling to mind an image. And we're going to work with the image of the rose as the blossom today. The rose also, the petals of the rose and the way the rose grows is so divinely perfect. It grows in accordance with that golden mean mathematics, that divine ratio. And this is why the rose is known as the flower of love. I've got some fresh roses here as well. Two beautiful white, well, they're almost gold. They're absolutely stunning. And if I look into the very center, they come into a really beautiful sort of cream color. I don't know if you guys can see that very well because my camera's not doing a great job. And they do smell divine. So we've got our roses here. So I want you to just close your eyes and come into your heart space, the energy of your heart. Imagine you can drop your consciousness from your brain, from your head, from your mind, from your thoughts, down into your heart. And I want you to find in your heart space the most beautiful image of a rose that you can imagine. And we're literally working with our imagination here. So if you can't see the image, I want you to feel it. Just feel it, or just know it's there. And then if you can't see it, I want you to imagine that you can. Imagine what it would be like if you could see the image of the rose. And if you can't, then I want you to just look at this rose quartz, rose crystal that I'm holding up here, and then get an image of that in your mind, and then close your eyes and place that in your heart. That will also help you to visualize. And I want you to be aware of the energy of the rose, the energy of divine love, and the unfolding petals of that beautiful, blossoming, expanding rose coming into your heart. Feel your heart open with every breath in. And as you imagine this rose opening, I want you to be aware of light filling your energy field, coming into you like a waterfall of light coming from infinite source above you, showering down through your energy field and anchoring into the earth. And allow that column or that pillar of light to turn into the most beautiful tree you've ever seen, as though you're becoming a tree of light, with your branches reaching all the way up through the stars, through the sun, through the cosmos, and your roots reaching all the way down through the crystals and the minerals of the earth and the elementals into Mother Earth, so that you become that tree and you are connected to everything through the energy of love and divine perfection. And in your heart is the rose. And I want you to imagine that this beautiful rose in your heart is connected to the infinite love of the all-permeating divine. It's unconditional love, it's compassion, it's perfection, it's beautiful. And it holds within it all of the codes of your own sovereign self, your sovereign light, the part of you that makes you absolutely unique, that aligns you with your soul purpose. And it's lifting your vibration up into the most divine angelic aspect of you that you can possibly be. So the part of you that is bringing all of the beauty that you hold within you to the earth. And some people's beauty lies in creativity. Some people's beauty might lie in science or mathematics. Some people's beauty might lie in practicality. My husband is a Capricorn. He's very organized and he loves cooking and gardening and cleaning and organizing things. I'm Libra. I'm a bit of chaos, but I see beauty in the chaos. So beauty might not be for you in the traditional sense of beauty. It might not be in an image of a rose. Some people see beauty in mechanics. Some men would love to see the intricacies of how things work. So whatever beauty is to you, I want you to really feel the essence of this now filling your heart, filling your soul up with the absolute uniqueness of you. And I want you to invite now yourself to imagine this rose in all its forms. So we've got an image, a visual image of the rose, but I want you to imagine, as we work in the mindfulness practice, I want you to imagine that you're actually sitting in front of a huge big rose, and you can have it under your nose and you can smell it. I want you to imagine you can smell the most beautiful perfume of this rose. You can smell the freshness of it. You can smell, oh, just how much it lifts your senses. Make it as real as possible in your imagination. And I want you to imagine the petals of this rose, and that you can touch them and you can feel how silky smooth and delicate they are. Imagine, is the rose cool to the touch or warm? Perhaps it's been bathed in sunlight. And then I want you to imagine you can run your fingers down the stem of this rose. Are there thorns here? And what's the texture and the shape of the leaves? And just imagine that you can use all of your senses, your touch, your smell, even your taste. What does the smell of the rose make you think of? Is there a flavor that it reminds you of? And if you've ever had like a rose flavored tea or a rose flavored hot chocolate, it's so aromatic, it's so beautiful for the senses, and it's very warming and comforting. And all of the principles that we use to make this rose as beautiful and as real to us as we can, I want you to now take those principles and apply them to your heart's desire. So if there's something you really need or want to come into your life right now, and something that might have been eluding you, I want you to imagine it as though you already have it in your life. So if it's something as simple as, I need more money, I need more abundance, and I feel like it's evading me, I feel like I can't draw it in, imagine how you would feel if you already had that money sitting in your bank account. Imagine the sense of relief and contentment and just gratitude. Gratitude is such a powerful emotion to hold. And let yourself completely relax, knowing that all your needs are already taken care of. If there's something that really means a lot to you, perhaps it's a project that you're working on and you really want that project to come to light. Again, for me, it would be something like a book, bringing a book or my oracle deck out into the world. It's like a dream come true, 10 years in the making. If you can imagine that already having been completed, imagine yourself holding the finished product in your hands, or having the finished event come to fruition, and how proud of yourself you're going to feel. How real, if you can make it as real as possible, not just in your mind, not just in your belief, but in all of your senses, really allowing yourself to connect to the most creative and beautiful aspect of this within you. And that sense of love, really blossom, to me, is about love. It's about cherishing, it's about devotion, it's about really seeing the precious treasure that is, when we see beauty in the world, when we really notice beauty in the world, whether that's in a beautiful garden or in another person, or hearing a piece of beautiful music, or seeing a beautiful piece of art, what that seems to do within us is it touches us, it moves us, it brings our emotional body to the fore, and it opens us, it brings us into almost a vulnerable state. And it's in our vulnerability and our ability to be truthfully who we are that we're almost cracked open to our beauty, our rawness. That's where the magic comes in. And in this place, this is where we allow miracles to enter our lives. So open to the miraculous here, open to even that which you maybe didn't know you needed coming into your life now. So you might have a specific desire or something you want to manifest, and absolutely you can use all of these tools and techniques to manifest that, but we want to take it a step further, and now we want to ask for what's even better than this to come in to support it. What's even better than this? What's beyond this? What's this opening to? In my life, I've been a pretty amazing manifester. I've ticked a lot of boxes. I remember when I was a journalist, I I said to one of my bosses, I just want to know everything about how the magazine world works. And I didn't really know what I was saying. I was working at the time for a magazine called Now, which was a celebrity magazine. And I went from being a senior sub editor to then suddenly being the food editor, the showbiz reporter, working on the website, spinning about 10 different plates. And I didn't know why I was needing to learn all the things about budgets and sending pages to press and how the whole thing worked. And shortly after that, I became the editor of Prediction magazine, which was it's no longer running, but it was a colleague to Spirit and Destiny, let's say. We were in the same industry, slightly different. And it was beautiful because I got to see the whole process from go to woe. Now, with my Oracle cards, I'm doing the same thing. I've actually been my own editor and I've created the whole process and I've had full creative control. Even though I've signed with a publisher, they've allowed me to do the whole thing and even to sending the project to repro and press myself. So I was able to manifest maintaining creative control and full rights to my own written work as well in the way that I signed the contract with the publisher. So you see, you're not always just a passive bystander in your life. You can create situations, and my one intention that I wanted to create for myself was just to be published. But then the icing on the cake when I opened to the miracles was that I got more than I asked for. I got to see the whole project through to its final completion, so that I was the last pair of eyes on my oracle deck signing it off. So I got to have complete creative control of my project, and I never imagined that would even be possible in the publishing world. So you see, sometimes when we open to the miracle and we expect, we just say, well, I don't know what I need to bring this to fruition, or I don't know if there's something even better beyond this for me. You open an extra door for your higher self to drop that in. So we can ask for what we want, but then we must surrender if we want the full benefit of that creative aspect. And what we're going to do now as we open to the miracles is I just want you to imagine or see or sense, see yourself just handing over your desire to your higher self. See it floating up through that tree of light. See it traveling out along one of the branches of that tree of light, and see it like a little bud anchoring into the tree, going up through the cosmos, touching through the sun or a star, wherever it needs to go to connect to the light of source. See it becoming a beautiful bud, like a blossom about to bloom, and then watch it bloom fully, fully, fully into the flower, and see it connecting to all its beauty. And you can just be a little bit curious about what flower that is. And I want you to imagine now that there might be a specific flower that is presenting itself to you as you imagine this. And that might be a rose. It could be an apple blossom or an orange blossom. It could be a flower that grows on a tree. It could be a flower that grows from the ground. It could be a flower that blooms upwards. It could be something that, like a trumpet that dangles downwards. It could be something like a snowdrop or a bluebell, or something that's very current in our seasonal climate here in the UK at the moment. It could be a flower that you maybe haven't even seen before. It might be drop into your head as just a word. You might just hear a word, something like chrysanthemum or sunflower or peony, something like that. Just in your mind's eye, be aware of which flower you're being gifted with now, because this flower will have a vibrational medicine for you, and you'll be receiving that through your consciousness now to help you bring your desire to fruition. And if you want, and this is only an invitation, you won't necessarily need it. Somebody's got geranium. I can smell geranium. That's not mine. Somebody else got geranium, I think. But if you can just pay attention to what it is, the invitation is you might want to go and research and see what the spiritual meaning is behind your flower. And you might even want to get your hands on the flower essence. I do have apple. You can get flower essences like this that can help you to align and attune to the vibration of the medicine that that plant is bringing through to you. And again, that helps you work with nature. It can also help to release any blocks that might be standing in the way of your highest desire and your highest good and your highest purpose. Flowers come from such a high vibrational frequency. They really are. They're the frequency of the fairy realms. Oh, Julia got a sunflower. I heard sunflower. And the fairies are high vibrational consciousness. They are actually the consciousness of the flowers. And they come in, they work on our subtle body and our subtle frequency to help us very gently align and attune to more and more of our own essence. You can also work with the physical senses. So say you got a rose or a geranium or something, you might want to get yourself like a rose essential oil, or even make a blend if you got more than one flower. I use my creativity to make my own blends. Oh, actually, I do have a rose and geranium perfume that I made. So there's geranium. You can also buy little products, like I've got wild rose hand cream here. I love working with rose because to me it connects me with love energy, it connects me with the angelic realm, and it makes me feel really, really happy and safe and secure, and it just connects me with beauty. Hibiscus, Lucy, amazing. Hibiscus, oh, and Maureen got the chrysanthemum. I knew someone got that one. Hibiscus is great. In Egypt, they drink a beautiful hibiscus tea called kakadi, and it's actually very high in antioxidants as well. And I'm hearing, I'm not an expert in this, but I'm hearing that it's also good for the blood. Like it oxygenates the blood and cleanses the blood, and that also keeps the energy moving around the body. Absolutely stunning. Hibiscus also very tropical, and that reminds me of Bali and Australia, and home in Australia, the tropical energies. So what I want you to, or what I'm inviting you to do now, is just to really bring that rose from your heart and just feel it blossom throughout your whole energy field. So you anchor all this beauty and this love and this, the smell of the rose, and also infuse it with your flower that you got from your tree. See that rose blossoming and the energy of it traveling back down the branch and connecting with the rose at your heart. So if you got, say, a sunflower, connect rose and sunflower so they work together with that love vibration. If you got chrysanthemum, connect rose and chrysanthemum energy. So what the rose does is bring any flower into its highest aspect, because it connects directly through the Venus energy and the divine feminine. But what rose also will do is help to protect you, because the rose has the thorns. So the rose, it helps protect the most fragile, beautiful aspect of you. And oh, Lucy's middle name is Rose. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you for all your sharing today, guys. I love hearing the feedback and knowing that we're all on a wavelength here. It's gorgeous. I love rose and geranium. It's a great combination. And also, I'm getting lavender. Lavender's great for relaxation and stress release, and obviously sleep and all of that, which I think we're all doing a lot of at the moment. So just feel it all infuse you. And I want you to imagine that these, the frequencies of these flowers are forming a beautiful protective sphere in your energy field. And then draw your consciousness in as though you're being cloaked with the energy of this. And you might see the colors of the flowers. And pay attention to what color your rose in your heart was too. Some of you might have got pink or red or gold, or even the white that I showed you. Whatever color the rose is for you will mean personal things. Like I always find that if it's red, it's usually, I associate it with Mary Magdalene and like deep compassion, forgiveness, and real sort of cosmic love. Pink is often about very soft love, nurturing love, feeling safe and softening into yourself. White is about purity. Yellow is often for joy, really lighting you up with joy. Orange can be really about creativity. Green is healing. Blue, if we associate them with the chakras, you might find more added meaning there for yourself as well. So different colors will have a different association. And you might even find that as you tune into the rose, if it's white, it might even contain the whole rainbow spectrum there. And I've got a very strong energy of the goddess Iris coming in. Iris is the rainbow goddess. She is the goddess of creativity, and she's telling me that she's here for all of us to infuse us with that rainbow light. You can see behind me that side, the chakras. I'm like the weather girl. I don't know what side I'm pointing at. The chakras. So Goddess Iris is coming in with a message of embrace your creativity. Even if you don't think you're a creative person, you are. And there is joy in the creation process. Don't worry about showing it to anybody. You can create just for you. You can just create. Just the very process of creating helps to birth our essence from thought into form. Other ways you can do like a vision board, create a vision board, or if you see an image in your mind's eye, you might want to paint a painting or a mandala. I often, was in a mandala workshop. It's in a circle. It's not quite a mandala, but I saw like my soul essence, like this beautiful pearl in a shell, and I wanted to paint that. So that was what I created. You don't have to be Michelangelo. You don't have to think of yourself as a gifted artist or writer to speak the voice of your soul. Celebrate your creativity in whatever way, shape, or form it comes through. Dance, sing, even play, gardening, cooking, they're all forms of creation. And of course, meditation is a great form of creation, and working with your higher mind to receive inner messages, insights about your highest form of truth. So this brings us to completion. I just want you to imagine that sphere of light sealing in your energy field, protecting you. Just release the image of the tree now. Let it go. Just let the tree release. Come back into your human form. Really see yourself as the beautiful human you are. And just in your mind's eye, set the intention that you're bringing all of your beauty out to the surface of your skin, that you're illuminated, your light is shining, and that you feel safe to shine as brightly as you can into the whole world. And we're going to bring in a 3D diamond to place around you and in your energy field with the hardness of a diamond, making it safe for you to shine as brightly as you want to. And a little extra exercise as we go back into our daily lives, and a little mindfulness exercise, is to notice the beauty in your life all around you. Set the intention that no matter what's going on in your life, you're going to see the beauty. Notice the grass that grows between the cracks. See the beauty in each person that you meet. Look beyond the surface and into the soul. See and notice the smells and the sounds and everything that's around you. Samantha, honeysuckle, beautiful. Really invite more beauty into your life, and invite the beauty to exude from you, and don't be ashamed of it. I know that many women are ashamed to show their beauty. Actually, many men are ashamed to show their beauty. So we just want to let go of that. Let yourself be the most unique and vibrant aspect of yourself. So I just want to say a huge thank you for joining me today. Absolutely beautiful to share this with you. And if you do create something gorgeous, if you've got poetry or art or anything that you want to share as a result of this, I'd love to see it. I'm wondering, Kirsty, can people somehow send it to us on the Facebook group, or sort of share it somehow? I'd love to see what's created as a result of this, and the result of the connecting just really simply with that mindfulness practice of seeing, smelling, tasting, being present, focused state of attention, and celebrating you. I'd love to see that. Just a note as well, I am running a series of Archangel Diamond Flame workshops online. The next one's the 22nd of October. We're going on a journey through the 40 archangels in my Archangel Fire Oracle deck. Each workshop is 2.5 hours. They're £44, and we go through the color rays as well, so you receive deep healing, transformation, and really, again, it's bringing more of our uniqueness to the fore, but how we can become more angelic in our daily lives. That's alexandrawenman.com/events if anyone wants to sign up for any of those workshops. Anything else I had to tell you? Just another reminder that Spirit and Destiny is out now, and there are loads of other people doing amazing lives. I know Claire Broad, my lovely friend Claire, was on here just before me talking about spirit guides and giving some great tips. So she's a wonderful guide as well. And Beverly Densham talking about angels. I know you've had the Lower Twins on here. So keep following Spirit and Destiny. Check in for these Facebook Lives. They're great. And you can grab your copy of the mag out now. And yeah, I'd love to hear your feedback. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. I love doing these. Next week at 1 p.m., we're going to be coming into fruition. So we'll be working with the energy of fruit and actually reaping the rewards of our desires, calling in the completion, the finished product, and then and releasing our manifestations out into the world so that we can start the process over again and start creating again. So thank you so much. Love to hear your comments, and if anyone, is interested, I also have a YouTube channel where I do interviews with other experts and I share channelings, and it's all free, just for yeah, just to share the love, really, just because I like to create as well. So have a wonderful day. Wonderful to connect with you all. Sorry we ran over. I can keep talking till the cows come home. And oh, pink hydrangea. Thanks, Danielle. Thanks for coming. And lots of love. Have a beautiful day, everybody. And I'm off to a singing lesson this afternoon. Lots of love, and we will speak soon. Thank you.